Council's role is to format policy, and then we turn the policy over to the manager to implement with the employees and the community. Council doesn't manage the town. Council makes policy and the manager manages the town.
We hire a town manager who's an expert in the field of hiring and managing other people. He's also an expert in viewing from a high perspective all the different jobs in the town. The council is elected by the people. They represent the people. And so in their role, they have to be sensitive to what the citizens of the town want and relay that to our town manager, who can then use his staff to implement those policies and procedures that we ask him to put into place.
You know, many of us have heard of the Tammany Hall and corruption at City Hall types of things. And so this concept of a council manager form of government was born out of that, of how do you try to change this. And so a lot of people look to the private sector of, well, how do successful corporations run? And it's usually you've got a board of directors, individuals that are very passionate about the community, i.e. our council members. They have a great love for our community. They decide to run for public office. And out of that, you begin to formulate a vision for where this community is going. And a manager is there to help not only assist them in formulating that vision and carrying out that vision, but also building a team of individuals, of professionals within the organization that allows it to respond and react appropriately to the needs of the changing community.
Absolutely necessary to have a manager so that there's one person that the employees can interact with directly.
When there are many bosses, you never really know which way things are going. It's like the saying that the man with two watches never really knows what time it is.
And that's one of, I think, the benefits of a council manager form of government, because right there is where you have, again, in our case, we have 7 elected officials. Other communities could have less or more individual council members. If each of them operated as individuals and could go into the organization and tell people to do different things, imagine the complexity of that, or the confusion. When you look at communities across the country that have had council manager form of government over a period of years, there's some pretty amazing things that they can accomplish, again, by setting that vision and then having the right professional staff to carry it out.
Generally, the mayor is the public face of the council. We serve on boards, whether it be at the League of Cities or Central Arizona Association of Governments. So we end up being the council representative for many different government functions.
He is, in a sense, a first among equals. He sets the agenda and he controls the meeting. But he isn't in charge. And in fact, the town manager doesn't work for the mayor, nor does he work for any individual council member. I can no more tell the town manager what to do than I can tell the President of the United States what to do. It's only when we work together in council that we have that role. And in that sense, the mayor does a good job of providing direction and guidance for the discussions of the council, so that we can best give that direction to the town manager. One is to be responsive to the citizens that elected them. Make sure that the policies, procedures, everything that goes on in the town reflects their interests, their well-being, and contributes to their flourishing in every way that we can. The second part of that role is the council's role in working with each other. We have to have a group that talks to each other, that understands one another, and is able to hammer out decisions together.
We're very professional in how we interact with each other. We talk on the phone to each other, we send emails, and if we have a controversial subject, we try to find a common middle somewhere that we can agree on before we vote on it and send it to the manager for implementation.
Work of the council is far more than just showing up on Tuesday nights. We have to keep in touch with each other during the week. We also have to keep in touch with the town manager to make sure that we understand the details and the technical aspects of every issue that we're going to consider, so that when we do come together, again, we not only know how each other thinks, but we know from a technical aspect what might need to be done.
The manager works with 7 different unique individuals, and each one has different life experiences, different dreams of why they ran for public office. And the manager's job, and it's a balancing act on most days of trying to understand what each person, how they feel about things, what their reaction is to various types of issues, and then to be able to formulate an action plan that tries to meet the wishes or the kind of the will of the majority.
We have a town manager who picks up the phone and calls council members on a regular basis. I think he could do in many ways with emails, he could do with text messages, but he picks up the phone and calls, and by doing that, he does an excellent job of keeping in contact with us. We also have immediate contact with him. We can call him at any time, talk over issues, and we will set up meetings, make sure that we get the information that we need, so that again, we're prepared when we get together to be able to act on behalf of the community in the best possible way.
It's very important. If you don't talk to each other, you never will work out any problems or disagreements.
Sometimes we see issues that are very complex, and there is no easy answer to the issue. And so you're trying to bring together people's various interests and backgrounds, and to try to find compromise in some of these issues. Not everyone's going to get everything that they want. And I think that through give and take and listening and communicating back and forth between the manager and each council member and then the council as a whole, you're able to come up with, usually in the end, very good policy that moves the community forward, or a set of recommendations that try to address whatever the issue is that's affecting the overall community. It could be a neighborhood issue, and you're trying to listen for what are the common themes. So communication is absolutely critical, both from individual council members talking with the manager briefing each of the council members and letting them know what's going on in the organization and the town, and having that two-way conversation.